When you are doing e-commerce business, for example dropshipping, it's easy just to connect your store to AliExpress and then rock and roll. But when you devote your time into it seriously, there come so many options: Alibaba, DHgate, Global Source, etc. After you spend a lot of time learning and comparing all the platforms, finally you choose the favorite one. And then in that platform, you are dealing with so many different sellers whose performance are quite different. At this point, you may ask yourself again, am I in the right platform? What the platform is going on exactly? Let me tell you all the critical logics these platforms are running. You will know the clear picture of all the platforms and run your dropshipping business feeling more confident and comfortable. Let's dive into the content. In the previous episode, we talked about the China internal market. If you haven't watched it yet, there is a link in the description, you can check it later. And before we start to focus on the China external market, something might be spinning around in your mind there. It always seems not very easy to buy from China. Is it very difficult to take control of the supply chain in China? The answer is definitely yes. Because there is a huge gap between the internal market and the external market in China. The huge gap contains two parts. One is the natural part and the other is the manual part. The natural part includes, first, we speak Chinese while most of the world outside speak English. Second, there is always a large distance between your country and China. It is not easy for you to get into China physically. And because of the COVID-19, it is even more difficult. The third one is that the time zone is different. Not only it means we enjoy the sunshine at different hours, it also means our working time is different. The manual part is, first, the internet wall China government has built, so we cannot reach the internet outside China by default. And it is very difficult for us to search on Google, watch YouTube, and communicate with the world outside through the apps like Facebook or WhatsApp. The second reason is the import and export policy between China and your country. We all know that nowadays international relationships are very complicated, and we should keep updated to make sure our business is in a healthy state. Among all the reasons, I want to figure out one most important one is the language barrier. You may ask the question in your mind, is it very difficult for your Chinese people to learn English as your second language? Well, let me give you the exact answer. Yes, it's very difficult for us to learn and speak English. And what's more, we don't even speak Chinese very well. I'm not kidding, I'm serious, man. The reason is that we Chinese people love to speak dialect Chinese rather than the standard Chinese. From province to city, from city to town, there are all kinds of dialects, and each dialect has different accents. Look at the general China dialect map, you may get the vision of what's going on with the Chinese speaking language. So it is very common that before we get on the train, everything is fine, and after we get off the train, we just cannot understand what people are talking about. It's really funny, huh? But it's true. Because of China's long history of 5,000 years and so many different cultures and civilizations, it is reasonable, right? Despite the standard Chinese being all over the TVs and our school education, we just stick to speaking dialect Chinese in our real life. So, as I have described above, our first language is dialect Chinese, then our second language is standard Chinese, and after that, our third language may come to English. As we all know, the most important thing to learn a language is the environment. In our situation, the physical environment is not English, and due to the blocked internet environment from outside, it is really difficult for us to keep learning English. So, that's the reason why we Chinese people's English level is a major concern in doing international business. As you have learned about the gaps between the internal market and external market, now it's time to discover the China external market. Open the external market, there's B2B and B2C. In open B2B, there comes the most well-known platform Alibaba. Alibaba started from last century in the year 1999 for running the traditional export business, and it is still running very well. And nowadays, it is also very suitable for you to run Amazon FBA business. You just place a bulk order and they do all the packages and put on the Amazon labels for you and then send them to the Amazon warehouse. When you dig deeper, you will find there are two types of sellers on that platform. One is the factory and the other is the trading company. Let's look at the factory seller's business model. There are two layers. The first layer is Alibaba, of course. It charges the yearly fee for 80,000 Chinese yuan, which equals 12,400 US dollars, which is not cheap, especially for the small business. And that's the basic fee. If you want to make the product and your store stand out, you have to pay the P4P fee, which is highly recommended by Alibaba. The second layer is the factory itself. And the factory should build an export sales team to do the service for the foreign customers. Then, when you communicate with them, the biggest concern is MOQ that you cannot avoid. Why? Why is that? The reason is, the sales team has the responsibility for the factory to cover all the fees for paying the rent, the machine purchase and maintenance, the workers' salaries, and other stuff. So, what all they need is a big order. You can imagine that if the order goes small, not only it will cause efficiency of the production plan, but also cause unstable situation for the factory's maintenance. So the MOQ cannot be small, and of course, the bigger the better. Now open the trading company. This model has 3 layers. Compared to the factory model, the sales team just turned into an individual company. As a result, it doesn't have the responsibility to maintain the factory. It has more options, either purchase from different factories or buy from 1688. It all depends on the trading company itself. So the MOQ can be lower than the factory, but the price is marked up. Because of the 2-layer business model now turned into 3 layers that each layer want to make some money, right? But it is not always a bad thing. The trading company's service quality in most cases is better than the factory itself. It's more professional in communication and the trading service, while the factory is supposed to be focusing on the production. And the one thing you should remember is that it is still on the Alibaba platform. The basic yearly fee is still not cheap, so the MOQ is still needed for them to generate enough money to cover the platform cost. Now let's look at the B2C market. AliExpress is the platform you definitely go first when you start the dropshipping business. It started very early in the year 2010, but it is boosted in the year 2018 when the Deezers came out, which is a Shopify plugin created by AliExpress itself. And it's very convenient to book one order to fulfill your online store. If you have already used AliExpress, you may have so many deep feelings about this platform. Not only the convenience, but also some unhappy experience and confusing situations. And you must be really eager to figure out the critical logic about the platform. Open the AliExpress model. Do you notice that it just looks like the same as the trading company model in Alibaba? Then you will find the significant difference is that the AliExpress doesn't charge the yearly fee. Instead, it charges the commission fee for every single order at the ratio of 8%. Yes, 8%. The platform commission fee is not cheap, huh? But anyway, it works, right? Especially for the dropshipping business model that starts from one single order. Then there comes one thing you should think about it. There is no yearly fee. That means there is no entrance barrier. So everyone in China can open an AliExpress store for free. Therefore, the service level in AliExpress is in such a wide range, and it's not always promised as it is supposed to be. That includes the English level, the knowledge level, as well as the execution level. That means you have to spend lots of time to do the research and communication to test the different sellers' service. Yes, if you have multiple categories, or you just change your store category, you should spend more time evaluating different supply service level, such as the product quality, the shipping speed, the issue response time, and so on. So compared to the trading company model, the second layer in AliExpress model has more sellers in various service levels you should pay attention to. Okay, when it comes to the third layer, it is just the same as the trading company model totally. Okay, let's take a quick review of the three business models. Each model has its pros and cons. Now let's figure out the best point of each business model to make it more clear, alright? The factory model has only 2 layers. That means we can get a very competitive price of the product. The trading company model is the most professional in service. That saves you a lot of time. And AliExpress model has the one order placement advantage for convenience. And of course, each pro is the other model's weakness. That's a simple conclusion. Of course, you can have more conclusions based on these 3 models. And from now on, I hope you are much more confident and clearly know what you are doing when it comes to this China market platform. And some of you may wonder, all the models are not perfect. Is there any better solution? And someone may also think, I have heard their sourcing agent or dropshipping agent in China. What's their business model? How does it work? Will my business benefit from that model? Okay. Take a break and enjoy your life. We will have a deep discussion on that topic in my next video. Now it's time to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. That really encourages me to create more useful content for you. Thanks for watching. See ya!